In Matthew chapter 21, verses 12 through 15, the Bible says, "And Jesus came to the temple of God and brought out from there everyone buying and selling in the temple. And he was given the table of the money changers and even the seat of the sellers of doves. And he said to them, 'It is written, my house shall be a house of prayer. You have made it a cave of the thief.' And the blind and the cripples approached beside him, and he healed them. And when the chief priests and the scribes saw this, they were amazed over it. And the children in the temple shouted and said, 'Hosanna to the Son of David.' The chief priests and the Pharisees were angry at this." Okay, so I'm reading from the oldest manuscript of the book of Matthew. And it reads a lot differently than our modern Bibles. Our modern Bibles say when Jesus cleansed the temple that he went in there, toppled tables over, dumped out money, and so on. But this is completely different. Now, I believe this is the more accurate account of what happened for the following reasons. The Bible writer Isaiah said that Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He said that Jesus will commit no violence. That is referring to his earthly testimony, his time on earth. Earlier in the book of Matthew, it says that Jesus will not shout, nor fight, nor cause his voice to be heard in the streets. Jesus himself said, "Learn from me, for I am gentle and have a tender heart." Jesus also said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall see the face of God." Okay, so with those things in mind, this is why I believe this is the more accurate account of what happened when Jesus went into the temple. See, this is the only time where Jesus seemingly had an outburst of anger or rage or wrath or any of these things. That's referring to how our modern day Bibles read. But if we look at all the evidence, we look at the gentleness and the meekness of Christ, right? He did not shout nor fight, nor was his voice heard in the streets. This would be totally out of harmony with what Christ's character and description is in the four Gospels, referring to our modern day Bibles and that account of what happened. So I believe Jesus walked into this temple and they gave him the tables of the money changers. They gave him the seat of the sellers of doves. And then he said, "You have made this a cave of the thief." Now, a cave denotes darkness, and the thief is Satan. In Hebrew, this word thief also means the destroyer and the violent one. Something else to consider is the blind and the cripples approached him and he healed them. Now, if Jesus was acting in a rage and he was throwing tables and dumping out money, would the blind and the cripples approach him? You know, people who are vulnerable, they would probably want to get away from someone who's angry. On top of that, the children were shouting and saying, "Hosanna to the Son of David." They were happy. They were praising Jesus. Children don't like violence. Children would go and hide and get away from it. That's what I did when I was younger. So with all these things in mind, I believe this is what actually happened, and it shows Jesus' gentleness and meekness.